All right, we're live. Someone's
Yes, we
someone's
are.
mic is feedbacking. I don't know.
Is
Welcome
it me?
everyone. No, shut up. I'm doing an intro. You wait your turn. Anyway, welcome everyone. You have been begging. We get this young chap here on. Goes by the name of Richard, and he showed up as if he's here for a job interview in a nice spazzy, nice spiffy shirt with a tie on, and Than and I are in our usual t-shirts. So he really showed us up, and I'm already angry at him. Welcome, Richard.
Well, for Presbyterians, this is actually casual clothing, and I know my followers will riot if I ever show up to anything without wearing a bow tie and having the ceiling fan in the background.
Powerful, powerful. It looks like you have got one of those like hats with like the fans on, and it's just going about to take you off. I love it. It's beautiful. Really shows your youth off.
It's a halo. I know I'm iconoclast, but I am an icon right here, so there's that.
Dang.
All right. So you're here. Well, so many people requested we get you on to do a stream. And so, yeah, that happened. So you can thank your a million annoying followers for begging to get you on. And so that's why you're here.
Yeah. I saw them ask you if you would collab with me in Minecraft, and you said no. So that was pretty heartbreaking. I think it's because if you joined my server, you would have to reveal what denomination you are.
You see? Listen, people think I'm grumpy now. I will take it to new levels of grumpiness if I had to play Minecraft. I have played it a couple times with my daughter, and I am like, yeah, this ain't for me. No. Maybe it's just because we got to do everything she wants, and I love her. I'll do it for that, but I'm like, this is not my cup of tea. But hey, tomato, whatever.
Okay.
No. So tell us about your channel. Do you just like play Minecraft on your channel? Is that like all you do?
No. The biggest videos I make are like explainer videos. Like, so right now YouTube is swarmed with the format like, I don't know, every type of cheese doodle explained in 10 minutes, or every type of skibbity riz explained in 10 minutes. Not to toot my own horn here.
He's using them Gen Z terms.
Dude,
what is he saying?
I'm a millennial. I have no clue what's happening.
He said skibbity and riz. I'm going to put that in my translator, but keep going.
So
hey,
my channel was like a tiny Minecraft channel until one day I was like, hey, what if I explain every Christian denomination in 12 minutes? So I made that video. My channel went from like 1,000 to 100,000 subscribers. And then I kept making explainer videos. And then the Paint Explainer took my style and secularized it, which is fine because I took Bill Wirtz's style. YouTubers steal each other's styles all the time. And I kind of ruined YouTube because now YouTube is filled with these AI explainer videos with Comic Sans, little icons for everything. Just every blank explained in 10 minutes. So yeah, I ruined YouTube. But what I really want to do with my channel is to try and retake the mainline Protestant churches. America's historic Protestant churches have mostly gone liberal, and I'm in one of them, and I'm in the PCUSA. So I started a nonprofit, which has got thousands of people on board, to try and retake the Presbyterian Church USA. And that's the reason I care about my channel, but I have to make little, fun Comic Sans explainer videos to get people hooked. That's the gateway drug. And then the real stuff is Operation Reconquista.
Well, we're all for that. We are anti-progressives here for sure. We just don't say what denomination we are. But I had to get you on for sure because I've been getting too many comments lately that I'm clearly Orthodox or Catholic. So I was like, well, time to get a Protestant on. And that way I can get more comments. You see, he's clearly Protestant. And then we'll just the cycle will keep going. And that's what we do here. So, so we were like, we were going to do another stream. And then I got canceled. And then I was like, oh, this might be the perfect time to get Redeem Zoomer on. And like,
what did you get canceled for?
I don't remember. It was it got rescheduled. We're going to do it like in a week or so on like, did Paul exist or some crazy theory the atheists are pushing now. But I was like, this is the perfect time. We've been to do this for a while. And I was like, and people are ranting about this wacko theory of Noah's Ark. So I figured we could debunk this, even though it's been debunked 1,000 times. This idea we have Noah's Ark sitting up in the mountains of Ararat.
Yep.
Is that and like this has been debunked so many times. For the 1 millionth time, it's not Noah's Ark, and so we kind of got you on. And then I was like, wait, I hope he doesn't believe in that. I think we should check first, and then
I don't buy into that. I'm not like a young Earth creationist type, and even if they found Noah's Ark, I mean, wood doesn't last that long. I did have an Armenian roommate for the first 2 years of college, and he's like, he really believes that is the Ark, I think. And something interesting he did say is that there's evidence that Noah's Ark was in Armenia because the Caucasus region is where there's the greatest concentration of different language families, which is true, by the way. There's so many different language families around that tiny little region, and there's the Tower of Babel. That's an interesting thought, but no, I don't think that finding like a mound-shaped rock proves that your country has Noah's Ark. I was talking to my roommate several years ago, going over many of my favorite arguments for God, like the Mandelbrot set, mathematics, and all this. And he was like, "No, the best argument for God is Noah's Ark, but Turkey has Armenia just has to declare war on Turkey and take it back, and then we prove God exists." So it's like,
you see,
okay, man, okay,
powerful. That'll definitely secure it. It's a crazy position, but yeah. It was it recently has resurfaced because there are what is it saying? There's CIA documents.
Yeah, the CIA declassified a document from I dug up the document. It was February 1st, 1967 was when it was written, and it got declassified this month.
That's the problem. And then, all the conspiracy theories lose their mind, and there was a million TikTok videos now promoting it. So I was like, all right, we can tackle this now. It's a hot topic. So yeah, we'll just dive right in and go through. I found a Tim Pool video talking about it. We can just look at. I'm like, even Tim Pool's commenting on it. I'm like, oh crap. So it's just going to get more steam. And now we have to deal with it. So for the record, Noah's Ark was not found by Ron Wyatt in Turkey. This is a modern myth. It's a natural geological formation, and you will see as we get into that. So.
But it's shaped like a boat, though. What else could it be other than Noah's Ark?
It's a UFO.
Yeah, it came from Venus. We're all aliens. We come from Venus, and we got dumped here.
It's the oh man.
I think
what's
Tim brings
his face?
Billy Carson.
Carson. What? Why can't I remember what he used to refer to? The
Anunnaki of Nibiru.
Yeah, the Anunnaki.
The Sitchin thing. Yeah. Yo, in this video, Tim Pool even tries to he just talks about some people think we came from Venus. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That would disprove my theory of the Nephilim. So I don't believe in that.
Are you a Heiser guy?
No, my theory of the Nephilim is very, very unique. The only other person I've ever heard have the same view as this Luxembourgish Reformed scholastic Wilhelmius van Diper. But it's a complicated thing. I have a video about that. If you guys want to check
we
that
can
out.
talk about it offline. I'm just
listen. You don't have to make up names. There's Wilhelm van Diper. Come on, you just made that up.
His last name's Diper, dude. I don't want to listen to a guy whose last name is Diper.
This sounds like
I made a video about him, so he's real.
Sounds like you just sort of made up on the fly. Like, oh, who supports your theory? It's a German guy. You would have heard of him. Oh, what's his name? Wilhelm.
No, I didn't make him up on the fly. I made him up a year ago.
Okay, fair enough. So Cole sends in the super chat. You see, Zoomer has said Molinism is cringe. We must humiliate him in the name of Ezra and his messenger, the redactor. I will.
I mean, it is. Let's be honest.
Young people. IP, you said you believe Moses lived in the 13th century BCE. When do you think Adam lived? Also, as one of your Calvinist viewers, a collaboration with Redeemed Zoomer is a dream come true. Well, thank you. I don't know when Adam lived. I maybe put him back 14,000, 12,000 years ago, but I'm not nailed down to that. Yeah, so, give or take.
So the geological evidence suggests that humans started wearing clothing around 75 to 150,000 years ago. So that's generally where I would put Adam. So tell me if you agree with this. I think the majority of human history has been the time between Adam and Noah. I think Adam was around 100,000 years ago and Noah was around 20,000 years ago. And that would actually make sense that we are in the last days, even though it's been 2,000 years since Jesus, if the vast majority of human history has been insanely evil people killing each other for 80,000 years. And there is a lot of prehistoric evidence to show that prehistoric humanity was insanely evil and violent and tribal.
For sure.
It's like that's not my special theory. That is the science. That is what the scientific consensus is. And that fits with what the Bible says about what humanity was like before Noah. And it fits with the Reformed doctrine of common grace, that the covenant with Noah was a common grace covenant. It wasn't like a saving grace covenant, but it was to make the world less of a horrible place for God to accomplish his redemptive purposes. So that means everyone has common grace from God because they are descended from Noah.
Yeah, I like that theory. I would not disagree that, you could use that to argue we're in the last days. The only reason I said I'm not nailed down. No, I mean, Adam could be 20, 30, 1,000 years ago. I don't know. I just sort of put it in there because I think it would probably far more likely be more recent history, just given human memory and time and that kind of stuff. Again, right. To me, it's like, a reason why I did is I think I wanted to put it close to the flood, and I think I put Adam at the bottom of the Persian Gulf because there was a paper by Jeffrey Rose like a decade and a half ago arguing that there was a population of humans living under there. There was subterranean aquifers that watered, so it sounded kind of like the land of Eden. And I was like, that sounds kind of interesting, but again, not really nailed down to it.
You know something? People say you're Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox. You made a video explaining that the Garden of Eden was in the East, and the other people I've heard claim that are the Nestorian Assyrian Church of the East.
No.
That's actually in their catechism. They say that we're the one true church because the Garden of Eden was in the East. And you also promote that theory. So I think inspiring philosophy is actually Assyrian Church of the East and venerates more Nestorius and more Babai.
Wow, you called me a heretic. That's fighting words. So,
the thing is, Nestorius was not nearly as Nestorian as most evangelicals are. Like, real Nestorianism is actually pretty chill, but what Nestorius was falsely condemned for, like, that's a moderate version of what a lot of people these days believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the CIA also found Noah himself, and he's still alive. That's true. Oh! And he's a giant. He's like Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Big guy. Thank you, Potato, for gifting 20 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. Much appreciated. I just joined and went, wait, I thought I clicked on IP video. I joined when RZ was talking. Yeah, that happens. People talk here. They're allowed to, Tim.
I'm everywhere. You can't escape.
Can't. He's young. He can get around really fast. Unlike Than and I, we have to,
I literally zoom around. That's what I do. I zoom around to everyone's live streams.
He's already doing dad jokes. All right. That's my job here, sir. What denomination is Than? Oh, he's what? You're like Coptic, I'm
a Coptic
Oriental
Orthodox Muslim. But I think Joseph Smith was the last prophet.
That's true. He was. What about David? No, David Koresh was the final messenger. I'm sorry. You were wrong. Yes. Poor fortune. All right. Let's play a little bit of this video, and I'll get to more super chats in a bit. So this is the CIA covert hunt for Noah's Ark. Can't even say it without laughing. Sparks.
Dude, questions. Mike, when you texted me, hey, we're going to cover this, I was like, I read the title and I'm like, wait, hold on. This can't be. And then I watched the video and then I looked up the articles and I'm like, oh, he's serious. Okay, this is actually happening.
This is the thing. This is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. And we all know the CIA is a trustworthy scientific organization that has never misled the public. Therefore, we can trust them here when they said they were looking for Noah's Ark. Okay.
My gosh.
His covert hunt for Noah's Ark sparks new questions amid claims the biblical boat has been found, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, this story's been going crazy. Not just this, but this whole CIA psychic endeavor to find the Ark of the Covenant, Noah's Ark, and you have this story now about
the Ark of the Covenant is. That's not what the Ark of the Covenant is.
No, that was another article. The CIA was trying to use like psychic to find. Yeah, they were trying to use psychics, if I remember correctly, to find the Ark of the Covenant as well.
The CIA does so many weird things.
This is where your tax dollars are going to, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but it's time for a revolution.
The Ethiopian Orthodox Church has the Ark, and that's why Inspiring Philosophy is actually Ethiopian Orthodox.
Yeah, it's powerful proof right there, ladies and gentlemen. You got me. You got me. I have a Bible with Enoch in it and everything else. So what are you going to do?
Beneath the pyramids.
Oh, God.
Everybody's wondering about the questions and the origins of humanity. Did you guys know that at the time of Cleopatra, I should say, the time distance between us and Cleopatra is the same as Cleopatra to the Great Pyramids of Egypt?
Actually, it's a little bit more. Cleopatra is, I think, is closer to us than the Great Pyramids, but I might, it could be about that. But this whole idea about the secret city under the pyramids, I like the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities has been is saying like this is completely wrong, and it's not even peer reviewed. And there was a guy named Lawrence Conyers who said like the ground, the current radar technology can't penetrate to such depth. So a lot of this misinformation that's been going around is just absurd. There is no secret city under the pyramids. This is another one of those ridiculous conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I didn't even
That's
look
how
into that.
old.
Oh, I looked at it for like 5 minutes and I'm like, yeah, I figured it was crap and then moved on. But I mean, sensationalist nonsense. People got to dive in. I mean,
Yeah,
it is what it is, you know.
They are. They are great questions. And there are claims they found Noah's Ark. Is it that this was a story of God flooding the earth and Noah saved 2 of every animal, or at least as many as he could? 2 of every animal. Maybe it's allegorical. Maybe it's literal. I doubt it's literal. There's way too many different animals. But maybe. Or perhaps it's just some guy who built a boat and put his farm animals on it.
I think his mannerisms sound a lot like Trump. He's like, maybe it's allegorical, maybe it's literal. People say a lot of things, folks.
He is a pretty big Trump fan, so it makes sense he's imitating Trump a little bit there. Maybe it's just secondhand nature, but I'm seeing it now. Now I will never not see it with Tim Pool. The Trump imitation, it's taking over the world.
Oh,
it's so powerful.
Gosh.
When a flood happened in his region, not the whole planet, he saved them, and this story turned into something greater and grandiose. Don't know for sure, my friends, but one thing that's very interesting is how many great flood myths there really are. And then you have the mud flood theory, which is a bit.
So before we get to that, this is a big claim from young Earth creationists that there's just all these flood stories everywhere. But I looked into this several years ago. Let me put up this paper here I have. Where did I put that one? Here it is. So I looked at Aboriginal flood stories because I was interested in what they had to say. And it's not what you think. So this was Aboriginal memories of Inundation of the Australian coast dating for more than 7,000 years. Yeah, there are flood stories, but if you look at them, they're really different. Like the Aboriginal flood stories are not like Noah's Ark. Like here, one day he found a woman stealing wattle gum and enraged and determined to drown her. He seated himself on the grass, extended his right leg towards Cape Northumberland and his left towards Greenpoint, raised his arms above his head, and in the giant voice called upon the sea to come drown the woman. The sea advanced, covered her beautiful land, and destroyed the offending woman. It returned no more to its former bed and thus formed the present coast of McDonald Bay. So it seems to be allegorical for like Australia was more of like a big coastal area, like, you know, this, and then there was flooding, and then it became Australia as we have it today. Not so much this idea of Noah with a big boat. Here's another interesting story they bring up. Then one day a great storm came up and huge waves washed into the region, destroying much of the swampland used for food gathering. The wave crashed into the shore so fiercely that they washed over the land. The coastal people fled inland to escape the flooding. Sometime later, returning to the coast at the mouth of Georges River, they found that what they had once known was no longer. Instead of the swamps, there was a great bay. So the Aboriginal flood stories, surprisingly, are not this idea of some guy putting a bunch of animals in an ark and waiting for it to recede. It's coastal areas flooding and the new coast forming. So you could see similar stuff with, for example, the Chinese flood story. It's about like rivers overflowing.
Yeah,
like the great flood of China. Basically, it's the population was displaced among disasters, such storms of people left their homes to live on high hills and mountains or nest in trees. So yeah, there's flood stories everywhere. Why? Because humans have experienced a ton of floods. These are not just retelling of Noah's flood. This is a big misunderstanding. So my main point is basically you get young Earth creationists saying there's flood stories everywhere. But when you actually look at them, the flood stories are vastly different. They're all just not variations of Noah's flood.
Mm-hmm. It's also hard to understand like how people could have gotten, like how all the animals could have gotten from the Ark to all the different parts of the world and then evenly distributing themselves. And like, yeah, they have explanations, but it's not the most common sense explanation.
No, it's, well, I mean, like, so the penguins went up from Antarctica for like a year, and then they went back.
They like heard about that there was going to be a boat, so they waddled up from Antarctica. Who knows how they got there? It's like you have to invent like 300 different miracles. Like maybe that they got teleported there. Maybe there was like some angels carried them on a taxi. Maybe, I don't know.
I like the angel tax. That makes sense.
Look, man, if the CIA knows how to do mind control, I'm pretty sure God knows how to do mind control.
It's not like it couldn't have happened. It's just that like I don't think it's meant to be read that way.
Yes.
I mean, also, I think we'd see like migration evidence, like the kangaroos coming from Australia and then back. There should be some bones, some fossils somewhere. I mean, like of something. There should be some mass migration of all the marsupials that are only in, for the most part, Australia, leaving and coming back. This is why I take a regional flood hypothesis. I think it just makes more sense.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So glad we're all in agreement here. Let's continue on with this because I want to get to the actual site.
It's a bit wild, but it posits that there was a great flood on this planet. And anybody who's ever experienced a real flood knows that when the waters recede, the sediment stays. So when the flood waters come in, it carries with it muck and grime that floats around in it. As the water then starts to recede and drop, while some of it does wash away, many of it sticks to the ground, leaving a thick, muddy residue. There are people who believe there's a great civilization called Tartaria. I know, it's nuts. And that, or maybe you're watching going, Tim, you're crazy. No, it's not nuts. But the great flood did happen. And Noah did save these animals, or maybe
Tartaria, I believe, is this idea that's really popular in Russia, that there was this empire like in that region. And it's just like this really weird conspiracy among like nationalists over there to like sort of like deny that these like these traditional people actually had like their own land and regions. Like it's absolutely nuts from what I gathered from it. I didn't spend a lot of time looking at it. I was like, this is just crazy. I don't know if they're actually positing it was like a pre-flood civilization, but it was just crazy. I don't know if you guys looked into it, but yeah.
There's a lot of crazy theories out there.
Oh yeah. You like there's a theory called new chronology, also popular in Russia, that really were like in the year like 1300, and like the experts added in like hundreds of years to make up like the empire of the Mongols and other things to pretend like these people had like vast like empires. It's like it's absurdly insane, but you'll get like really weird. I delved into that many years ago just I was like fascinated by it, but it was so weird.
Or maybe they're unrelated, but a great flood happened and it swept mud across all of these cities, wiping out much of civilization. And then when the waters receded, it buried buildings. Now, I must admit, it is kind of crazy, if you ask me, how you've got buildings. People point out, how come there's a door frame halfway buried in the ground? I don't know, because I've seen them, and it is kind of weird. There are buildings where there will be they carved a door frame, and you will see on the sidewalk, the door's half buried. And some argue, well, they just lifted the sidewalk. I mean, you're crazy. And it is interesting. Now, they do love.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
This sounds kind of like when they say, oh, there's a fossil of like a fish in the middle of eating something. So that proves the big flood because the fish was like interrupted. Like maybe it was interrupted by something else other than the biblical global flood.
Yeah.
Is that the only thing that could have interrupted a fish ever?
Yeah.
You can literally find like fish frozen in here in the Midwestern lakes in the middle of eating another fish, for instance.
Yeah. That means there was a great flood in the Midwest. A global flood in the Midwest.
Yes.
There was a guy called Ian Juby a couple years ago who argued that like dinosaur eggs that were laid in a row was evidence of the Great Flood because that dinosaur must have laid the eggs in a hurry, like as it was like running in a row. But it was like a row of two.
The flood coming.
And I'm like, are you insane? Like, that's just not, they should be like the dinosaurs was like laying eggs in a row. It's like, are you insane? Like,
as someone who did not grow up in any evangelical church, nor have I ever been in one, I'm concerned. I'm wondering how many people are taught as kids that the flood killed the dinosaurs. Like, how common is that theory?
I didn't grow up in church, but from the people that I know that are Christians, that were Christians growing up, a lot.
Interesting. I don't remember specifically being taught that, but I was taught some young Earth creationist stuff.
Yeah.
Love to point out how Chicago is a lifted city. It is really crazy when you look at Lower Wacker. There's actually Lower Wacker too. If you go to the river, you can see 2-3 layers where they lifted the whole city up. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. But here's a story from the Daily Mail on the CIA's covert hunt for Noah's Ark. They say a 4-page report known as Report Re Noah's Ark details how the CIA secretly searched for the Ark's location for nearly a decade, hoping to prove the legend true. According to the Bible, God commanded Noah to build a vast ship, the Ark, capable of saving himself, his family, and a pair of each of the world's animals from a great flood that wiped out all living things on Earth. While Noah's story is known worldwide, no evidence of an Ark has ever been found. Scientists this month declared that a boat-shaped mound 18 miles south of Mount Ararat in Turkey is actually the fossilized remains of the massive vessel. Soil samples show traces of clay-like materials, marine deposits, and ancient remnants of marine life dating back to the time of Noah. The team also suggested that the findings showed human activities in and around Mount Ararat. The CIA file declassified in 2002 appears to reveal that U.S. intelligence community has had their eyes on the exact spot since 1957. Take a look at this. Scientists say that a large boat-shaped geological structure.
What?
It's the Ark. There's no way that mound could be anything else other than Noah's Ark. It's literally a mound of dirt. Like, I've never seen a mound of dirt before. The only reason there could ever be a mound of dirt anywhere ever is specifically that specific boat that the Bible talks about. We proved young Earth creationism, checkmate atheists, checkmate theistic evolutionists, checkmate inspiring philosophy. There is literally a mound of dirt in Armenia, so that means young Earth creationists are correct.
He's right. It's hard to refute. Yeah, it's very right.
What's funny is, let's just say that this was proven to be the remains of a large ship landing somewhere. It wouldn't make me read the Bible any differently still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And so let's just look at this from like other picture sites. So like this is the site. And if you look at it from this angle, you're a little less in the opposite side. Like everyone tends to take pictures from the other side.
Yeah.
But you look at it from this side, you're like, that I guess you can kind of see the outline of a boat. But if you zoom out a little bit more, okay, look at this other ridge going up along here. Is this also part of the boat? Why is this part over here in the middle, this raised part, a boat, but this other raised part on the outside is not?
The other raised part is the line of dinosaur eggs.
Oh, the running.
Oh, I thought it was just the Mesopotamian boat from their flood myth.
It landed on top of it, Than. It makes obvious sense. I mean,
they were racing.
Yeah. Noah landed there and it was like, Utna Pishtim, I didn't expect to see you here. So, but I mean, look at like more of an aerial view too. Again, like why is this centerpiece the boat, but the wider one is not a boat? Look again, more raised ridges. Look at all these ridges on the outskirts here. Like if you go further back, like look further to the left here. You see a little more indents.
Well,
ridges.
You see, I can explain this. I'm actually a spy sent by Ken Ham. The boat had lifeboats, like smaller ones, just in case people wanted to escape. And the dinosaurs took the lifeboats because they thought they could escape. But they were wrong, and they ended up dying because they took the lifeboats. So those are the lifeboats the dinosaurs used.
I see. I guess the unicorns didn't get one then.
Yeah, no, the unicorns also took a lifeboat, but the lifeboats, everyone in the lifeboats died because they didn't trust in Noah and didn't stay on the boat.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So, but you could look. We always get focused on this centerpiece here, but if you just look out, you see all these other ridges, all these other indents. What is likely going on here? Well, guys, this site tends to be basically where the Arabian and Eurasian plate meet. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Maybe, I don't know, some geological activity is happening along this area, causing uplift, raised areas. I just look, ridge here, ridge there. Why is this ridge a boat, but this ridge isn't a boat? What are you gonna do?
Listen here, Mr. Science Man. Here's the problem. Okay, why was the CIA involved if it was just a natural formation?
That's true. The CIA has never gotten anything wrong, and they've never lied to us, and they've always used funds appropriately. That makes total sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't keep it up.
It's hard. I know. Let me see. This is the best time to bring this up here. Yeah, bogus. There was a paper published in the 80s. Bogus Noah's Ark from Turkey exposed as common geological structure. One of the authors is David Fassold. Why is that important? Because David Fassold was convinced it was the Ark at first, and then he was like, actually, no, it's not, guys. My bad.
Well, you see, you just have to adopt a presuppositional worldview. These scientists think it's not the Ark because they're not presupposing a fundamentalist Christian worldview. So the only reason they don't think it's the Ark is because they don't presuppose that it is the Ark. So you just got to have the right presuppositions.
That has to be the only logical explanation. You said it really well. That tends to be the response they resort to now.
Like literally, when I debate young Earth creationists, they're like, "Oh, the scientists just think the world is young because they don't presuppose it's young like we do."
That's powerful.
Okay.
That's basically what it comes down to. I was recently just talking to a young Earth creationist, and his arguments against evolution were basically that at the end of the day.
You have to have the right worldview, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's no neutrality,
No.
Mike.
That is not a neutral mound of dirt. There are no neutral mounds of dirt. Every mound of dirt is either Noah's Ark or not Noah's Ark. And because I have the right worldview and you don't, my mound of dirt is Noah's Ark, and there's no other explanation.
You can see even in this picture here, it looks more like an arc with this black and white. But when we add the color, like we showed in the earlier images, you start to see their other ridges and you go, oh, never mind. But I like what they say in this paper. No fossilized wood or traces of elemental carbon, wood, or reed fragments have ever been found associated with the walls or any other place during trenching or core drilling.
How do we know the Ark was made of wood, though? It could have been made of something else.
The Bible says gopher wood, so...
Yeah, but they don't have gophers in the ancient Near East, Mike. This was
Shut up. The unusual boat-shaped structure would so catch their attention that the eagerness to be persons who either discovered Noah's Ark or confirmed its existence would tend to override caution. They also note the dead animals represented by fossils in this limestone must have died in the supposed flood, and these fossilized remains are found in channels that cut into the supposed Ark. Therefore, the supposed Ark is actually older than the deposits of the supposed Noachian flood, and the relationship in itself conclusively refutes the hypothesis that the structure is the preserved remains of the Ark. So in other words, guys, the actual remains of animals are more recent, like the marine animals, they're more recent than the actual flood by thousands upon thousands of years. So did the Ark land there and then there was a flood which caused the marine animals to be up there? It doesn't make any sense. They should be dating at the same time. They don't. The Ark, the alleged Ark, is actually much, much older. And I like what they say here. David Fassold has suggested that although the structure is not Noah's Ark, it may well very be the site which the ancients regarded as the ship of the deluge, may have played a role in the flood story. So what's interesting is we do see people like Josephus and others, I think, talking about going, making a pilgrimage to the Ark. It's entirely possible that when we're looking at this structure, ancient people may have thought, like modern people do, that this was the Ark, and they went and visited it. And that could account for the idea that we have found human remains there. This could very well just be, hey, that looks like a boat. Maybe it was. There it is. It could very well account for why people for the human remains kind of thing there. So all of this stuff has much simpler explanations. We don't have to posit that this actually is some sort of secret scientific conspiracy to hide that this is really the Ark. It's just a geological formation, guys.
Yes.
Powerful. So,
but also ancients thought they found dragons as well when they found dinosaur fossils.
What do you mean dragons are real? I watched a podcast that said so. I was debating this guy. I was debating this guy on evolution like a month ago, and his argument was that like dragons are real, and he said dinosaurs are dragons, and that Satan is like a physical dragon, and that the dinosaur bones in the Natural History Museum are dragon bones. So there tends to be a correlation between belief in dragons and disbelief in the scientific consensus.
So Satan was like an actual dinosaur walking on the earth 6,000 years ago?
Literally, yeah. He said that dinosaurs and serpents and dragons and demons are all the same thing, basically.
You see, this is why I should not have given up liquor for Lent. I'm already regretting my decision.
Do you know Behemoth was a dinosaur?
Dan, I'm going to slap you all the way from Arizona.
You'll have to catch me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so let's get to some super chats and we'll go back to the video. IP, I recently watched your video on the Nephilim where you said the sons of gods were kings. Do you still think the sons of God divided the nations between could be the same? No. I argued in that video that the way Genesis 6 uses sons of God is different than the way Psalm 82 does. And I used internal evidence of both passages to suggest that. So for those who don't know, my view, which is the correct view of the Nephilim, and Redeem's humor is wrong. The correct view is that the sons of God in Genesis 6 were like kings and priests that ruled over, and one of their sins was they became polygamous, in contrast to Noah, who was monogamous, and that contributed to sin on the earth in combination with violence and pride and other things. So what is your view, Richard?
Well, I made a video on it. It's kind of complicated, so if you want to know my view, people in the audience could just watch my video on it.
Is it you playing Minecraft explaining the view?
I mean, yes, but I do explain the view.
Gen Z nonsense. Anyway, can you give a summary?
It's very, very complicated. You can read Wilhelmus Van Diper's treatise on it, or you could watch my video. It's only 20 minutes.
All right, I'm Googling this name. You spell it for me now. I'm convinced.
Who is this diaper man?
I already, Wilhelmus Van Diper. I already told you that I made it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it sounded made up, and then I was like, is it made up? No, it's got to be made up. No. Let's see here. It's bad when AIG agrees with you. Yeah, even Answers in Genesis did come out and say that this is not the Ark. So good on them. Oh,
good
yeah.
For them, yeah.
Years ago. They did this years ago. Like Kent Hovind said he may be the Ark, but no, not AIG. Can't fool them. You see, if it looks like a thing, it is the thing. You see? Yes. Powerful argument there.
The problem is it doesn't even look like the thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's all warped and, it is. It's insane. Like, they had to, change the dimensions and try to say they were using, Egyptian measurements. Yeah. So, this Ark landed in the mountains of Ararat, and then the Egyptians somehow retained the measurement system, but no one in that general area did. I mean, the ad hoc assumptions
they take an inch and go a mile with it, because there are Egyptian loan words in the account, but to just
How do you explain Jesus being given certain things in Matthew 28 when he's always had God's attributes, forgiveness of sins? Oh yeah, well, I talked about this in a recent video. For example, that passage is about him having authority over all the kingdoms of the earth. That's the context. If you go back earlier in Matthew and Luke, who's rolling them? It's Satan. He offers them to Jesus. Jesus defeats Satan at the cross, and then he just takes over that kingdom. Forgiveness of sins doesn't come up. Jesus already is forgiving sins earlier in Matthew, so that's not when he was given that authority. That authority is specifically about the prophecy in Daniel 7 when the Son of Man has his kingdom, and he has authority over that kingdom. So that's what that's referring to.
I would also say that anytime where it says Jesus was given something or grew in any way, that's referring to his humanity, because some people think Jesus could have been born speaking Swahili, but that's the Apollinarian heresy. Jesus was truly human. He had a truly human nature.
Yes.
So Jesus is given certain things in time according to his human nature, according to his divine nature. He has all the divine attributes, just like the Father and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll have Daryl Bach on my channel this Friday. We're going to talk more about the Gospel of Mark and if Jesus is God or divine in that. Should be fun. Should be interesting. I love Daryl Bach. I've been reading his stuff for years, so I'm excited to have him on. IP, will you guys be reviewing the David Wood, Alex O'Connor debate in the future? Yeah, we're going to try to do that next Monday today. So a week from today. I think that's our goal.
Yes.
Zoomer had me until he brought up Luxembourg. That's not a real place.
What do you mean? Luxembourg used to have an ancient empire that ruled over all the region.
That's true. Redeem Zoomer, as someone who leans theistic evolutionist, I think you could do a better job defending your position. Recommend checking out The Origin of Humanity and Evolution by Andrew Loke. Have you read that?
No. I'll check it out.
I've not read it either, but Loke's a pretty good guy. He's worked, I think, with Dr. Swamidass. Yeah. Have you read Swamidass?
No, like my views of evolution are different than most mainstream theistic evolutionists. Because as you know, I'm a Calvinist, I'm a determinist. So my view is basically just full-blown neo-Darwinian evolution. Like I mentioned, you said that, I remember you said you were not a neo-Darwinian evolutionist, right? I am a neo-Darwinian evolutionist, like just full-blown hook, line, and sinker. But I'm also a determinist. I think God determines every event. So you can simultaneously say that God willed evolution to occur exactly as it did, down to the tiniest detail, and that it was all random chance and random mutations and natural selection.
Yeah. Check out Swamidass's book, The Genealogical Adam. He makes a good case that we're all descended from Adam and Eve today. It's a great book. Did the CIA find Diddy's Ark? They did, and that's why he's in prison. They found all the videotapes on it too. So, could the oral tradition of Adam last that long? Yes. I mean, there has been research on oral traditions that sometimes they can last for thousands of years. It would be a really, really old one. It would be very surprising. But I mean, like, you could also make the case that, like, when God brought them out of Egypt, he gave them the accurate history to Moses specifically. So you could make that case. But I mean, there's no way to prove that.
Or maybe like an intermediate theory is just that, like, God revealed some of the oral tradition to Abraham. So it's like, did Noah know that Adam existed? Unlikely, honestly. But the ages of the patriarchs is just so shrouded in mystery. It's like there's so many people we hear about. It's like Enoch especially, like shows up, lives a perfect life, goes straight to heaven, doesn't elaborate, nobody knows who you are. It's like ultimate prehistoric Chad moment for real.
I like that. Yeah, it's good. Wow, you've somehow managed to get someone on that's gayer than Than. Are we being for real at the CIA ain't looking for the Ark? You gonna take that? You just said you're gayer than Than. That's pretty good.
Well, I've been studying theology, so I dogmatically declare the perpetual virginity of you.
Ooh, we got you. Now what are you gonna do? He got you there. So, IP, do you believe in the Saints? No, I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so that's where I land.
There's never been any Saints ever. Everyone is going to hell. No Saints. No Saints ever.
Need an Ark? I know a guy from ex-fireman with 70s porn stash. I told them to screenshot that image last time. And
I know they did. They did. People on Rob's server from Sentinel Apologetics were tagging me.
I don't know who these people are.
I don't have the stash right now. I technically do. I just haven't shaved them in like 3-4 days. So
listen, whoever makes these accounts, you have to come to a conference sometime and introduce yourself so I can figure out who the hell you are. This is insane with the number of accounts. Come up with these weird images.
Do you think it's just one? Do you think it's just one guy?
I don't know, but I want sometime, Than, I want you to come in shirtless with a fireman's hat and like overalls going over, and you can be the sexy fireman.
It's funny, like sometimes I'll get like actually serious messages like talking about serious topics, and their name is like Fart Sniffer 69 or something.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, okay, should I like take this seriously or not? Yeah, I know. Yeah. People made an email when they were 8 and then they never made a new one. Can you? Hi, God bless you guys. Can you make pig sounds? Thank you.
No, that's not kosher, and everyone knows I'm Jewish. So,
all right,
it's not halal.
What are you going to clip us or something? That just is obviously.
Yeah. Stop clip
someone
farming.
Is trying to clip us.
Stop clip farming. We know what you're doing.
Listen, Epic Cow. If you send in a $50 super chat, I will maybe consider it. Okay? I will maybe consider it. That is my promise. Who's the geek? There's They're mean to you. Who's the geek in the bottom? Why does he look like a Mormon? Can I neat up with the geek and KO him? What is going on? I think he meant meet up, but
do people just not like you? Does your normal audience treat you like this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is milder than my normal audience is.
Okay,
Fair
well,
enough.
I'm glad there's some civility here. That
I'm ready to fight for you, to defend your honor.
I have a proof of Thanathana at the Ark. He is on to the conspiracy, said Than's wife. So Than's your wife just put in a super chat. You want to talk to her about that?
Oh, that's sure. We've gone to the Ark, but we went as a joke when we were going. It was really fun. It was a really fun date.
Muhammad actually found the Ark, but it was over 9 years. It was over 9 years old, so he wasn't interested. That makes sense, Cole.
I think it's funny how like Christian versus Christian debates are like, oh, does the Holy Spirit proceed from the sun energetically or hypostatically? And Christian versus Muslim debates are like, is it okay to rape children?
Yeah, dude. I got challenged by Daniel Gigachu. I challenged you to debate child marriage, and I'm like, are you high? Like, of course he is Catholic, thinks he's the one true church, never wants to KO someone so bad. Go buy some buffs. Also, we never went to the moon. Thank you, Upzies. That means so much to me. Anyway, what money did Noah carry on the Ark? Bucks and a... Listen, Bob, we're gonna have a chat after the stream, and you're gonna. This is. I'm not gonna stand for this. Let's just say that. So, all right, one more super chat, and then we'll go back to the video. Going off the Noah Ark topic, have any of you guys read about wildlife native to Israel and nearby in biblical times? Lions, ostrich, Syrian bears. I have not read that much on that topic specifically. I don't know if you guys have.
Nope.
No.
It's never come up as a problem. I think that there's evidence that these animals did exist in the region for a time, but they obviously don't anymore. So
the powers that be are saying that we need to do a stream ad, Mike.
Did you do a what?
An ad really quick from the stream.
Who are the powers that be?
Matt's yelling at us. Could you guys pause for?
All right, we're gonna do an ad here. So everyone, Matt says we got to do an ad. So everyone, you ready? Here comes the ad. All right, we'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay.
Are you searching for a deeper understanding of your faith?
Inspiring Philosophy is your go-to resource for exploring the rich tapestry of Christian thought.
From biblical archaeology to philosophy of mind, we dive into the topics that matter.
Our content bridges faith and understanding, offering insights into God's existence and the reliability of the New Testament.
Join a community where faith meets reason and discover the answers you've been seeking.
Inspiring Philosophy, where faith meets understanding. All right, there. Are you happy, Matt?
Riveting.
Matt, are you happy? All right, good. I think he is. He better be. Okay. And just so people know, we have Easter's pagan shirts, and the link is below in the video description. I can show you the back because the back is pretty awesome. Hold on, let me turn around here. Did anyone see that?
Yeah. Yep. I showed it to them the week that you were gone too.
Pretty awesome. I love the design. It's one of my favorite designs.
I'm very excited about the next shirt coming out.
I bet you're excited about men taking their shirts off. It tends to
oh my goodness. Yes, I am.
All right, let's hear a little more of Tim giving us the news on the CIA looking for Noah's Ark.
Structure could be the remains of Noah's Ark, as new evidence shows the area was flooded 5,000 years ago. But just the area? Perhaps then it is. A guy built a boat. People thought he was crazy. He put 2 of each of his farm animals on it, not 2 of every animal, but every animal they had. And when the floodwaters actually came, he was saved and everyone else died. For the people who lived there, their known world was flooded. Now, maybe that's blasphemy. I don't know for sure. You can see this area near Turkey. The CIA papers detail how requests to track down the Ark came from multiple individuals within the U.S. government. DCI William Colby, who headed the CIA from 73 to 76, was ordered to develop an advanced technology looking for satellite photography of Mount Ararat in 1974. The request came from Lieutenant Colonel Walter Brown, a high-ranking official in the U.S. Air Force, who was on a mission to determine whether any evidence of the Ark could be found. The reason the Air Force was interested in Noah's Ark was not given.
Imagine you join the CIA You're so excited to be like James Bond, and he's like, I need you to find some aerial photos of Noah's Ark. Wait, what? Like, it's like, what is going on? Like, this is what we're wasting tax money on.
There are some theories out there to try to explain why the CIA got involved.
Oh, Tim's gonna tell us some. You brace yourself, Dan. We're gonna get to some pretty powerful ones here. Now, this is not attacking Tim. I love Tim. He's just reporting on it. So everyone this is not an attack on him.
Do you guys ever play Assassin's Creed? Not the crackpot weird stuff that they have now, but the original story. All of this lines up with like an ancient aliens theory that maybe it wasn't God or angels or whatever, but advanced technologies. And so you start to wonder why the CIA would want to dig around this area where they think there may have been an ark. I mean, take a look. It's really interesting. Perhaps that was a great vessel. At the time, 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, and so was the other outer ridge there, too. You can see the outer ridge. That's clearly also a bigger vessel. So the first bigger vessel landed, and then the smaller vessel landed on top.
That's where they put their laser guns and all that they're looking for.
Vessel of that size may have been the biggest feat in the world. Why would they be interested? Well, some people believe that, again, to go back to the original Assassin's Creed, or even the modern ones, they basically, it's all ancient aliens, that game, for real. You've got like the apple of Eden is like a computer that grants you power or whatever. It's technology. The staff of life, the tree of life or whatever. Basically, they're exploring these biblical ideas and historical myths as if they were actual science and technology that we didn't understand. Maybe what they're seeing right here in this spot, maybe the Ark was a great technological vessel. Maybe it wasn't just wood. You know, we don't know for sure, but I wonder why the CIA is going after this stuff. And it could just be plainly propagandistic. Imagine if the CIA could prove Noah's Ark was a real story. Hard evidence presented and everybody believes it.
I just think there was probably like some Christians in the 70s that were in government, and they were like, well, we got some money. We should look for Noah's Ark on that.
I guess this could make sense in a Cold War era where like the Soviet Union is atheist and
one of
the West is supposedly Christian, which now it's really not. But in the modern world, I don't know what this would prove, really. Even if they did find Noah's Ark, that doesn't prove Christianity is true. That proves that Noah's Ark is true. But I think this young Earth creationist mind makes you think that the young Earth creationist mind makes you your faith depend more on Genesis than Jesus, honestly.
Yeah, it is fascinating for sure. Yeah, man, I don't know.
I wonder what that would do to the world. That being said, even with the Shroud of Turin, which purports to be the cloth laid over Jesus with his image burned into it at the time of the resurrection, people don't believe it. And they say that carbon dating dates it back to the 1200s. Now, people who believe in it say that there was a fire and that would have screwed with the carbon dating. Even if they found evidence and claimed they had evidence of Noah's Ark, I tell you, people are not going to believe it. They say the request came from Lieutenant Colonel Walter Brown, a high-ranking official, was on a mission to determine whether any evidence of the Ark could be found. The reason the Air Force was interested was not given. That set the hunt in motion. A U-2 spy plane was deployed to take images over Mount Ararat. Satellites were also moved above the area to examine the glacier systems to see whether any evidence of the Ark could be found. When intelligence officials inquired about the available information, they were told the aerial photography produced negative results. However, Colby's request wouldn't be the last one the department would receive.
Could you imagine how much that cost in the 70s? We're sending U-2 spy planes and satellites in the 70s over Mount Ararat. And I'm sure the Soviets are like, what are they doing? Like, we're over here. Like, are they confused?
I didn't even know there were satellites in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. You had Sputnik in the 50s. Listen, young people like yourself, let me explain history to you.
Well, I knew that there was like Sputnik, but I didn't know there was like satellites that were taking pictures and stuff.
Well, I mean, if we went to the moon in 1969 in the 70s, we definitely had like government satellites up there for sure, you know.
The Duru Pinar Formation roughly matches the shape and dimensions of the Ark given in the Bible.
No, it doesn't.
New analysis of soil samples from the area shows the region was underwater 3,500 to 5,000 years ago.
No, it doesn't.
During the supposed time of the
you mean it rained at some point 3,000 years ago there?
May have. That would be insane. That. You know what also happened during Noah's flood? Rain. Mind blown. Absolutely. Got him.
Biblical flood. Over the next 8 years, the CIA documented 10 more requests from high-profile individuals with ties to the government about Mount Ararat and Noah's Ark. This included members of Congress, a former astronaut, and several officials from the DCI's intelligence community staff. In 1994, the CIA revealed that they were continuing to shut down Freedom of Information Act requests for the pictures of Mount Ararat, adding the agency had no efforts underway either to review other records or conduct additional searches for Noah's Ark. Take a look at this.
Yeah, take a look as it's cut out from the background. I mean, like, sure, now it looks like a boat if that was like on a plane somewhere and there weren't a bunch of ridges around it. I mean, this is man.
Except, for that formation in the middle that comes upward like this.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's clearly like debris left over from the flood that just piled up in there.
No. That was the storage area for all the poo from all the animals.
It's all the animal poo. There you go.
For the fertilizer.
Geologists strongly contest the theory and argue the Durupinar formation can be explained by natural physical processes.
Yes.
Indeed. By all means. Argue that. You know what's wild is also the Eye of the Sahara. Let me pull this one up.
I just love Tim. He's just like, by the way, guys, Eye of Sahara.
Some people think it may be Atlantis, the Reichat structure. Take a look at this. Maybe. I wonder. They've barred people from actually diving into this. And there are people who think this matches the description of what Atlantis really was.
Well, they barred people from going in there and disturbing the geological wonder, like trampling all over it. So yes, they did. Like, that's what they do. They don't want people to go in and ruin stuff. This is like if you go to the Painted Desert here in Arizona, there are walk areas for you. Don't go off the walk areas because we don't want you to disturb the Painted Desert and ruin it.
No, they're really just hiding the aliens. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Yes. The aliens painted over themselves so that they will not be seen.
It's actually the Nephilim.
What if? And I know people wish this were true. They really do. There was an ancient and powerful civilization, and they got destroyed, and then it's all been wiped out. I don't know. So I wrote my own little treatment entertaining the idea, and it goes something like this. Humans evolved on Venus. A runaway greenhouse effect began to destroy the environment in the atmosphere some hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Love it.
So the government proposed the Ark project. They would take the DNA samples of 2 of every animal that they could and store it on the vessel so that they could replicate male and female versions of these animals. This perhaps could go back even millions of years. Who knows? The Ark project, of course, would be militaristic. Only some people would be chosen. The ship then terraforms the Earth, or the terraforming of Earth begins. They then leave to go to the Earth, which is very similar in size to Venus. They then create this great city of Atlantis, advanced technology. But due to political instability, lack of resources, and with a limited population, the ability to produce and maintain the technologies of that lost civilization would eventually dissipate. And the people would begin to forget how these technologies worked. As technologies began to fail over maybe a couple hundred years, people start to branch out and move to various parts of the world. Who knows? It's a fun idea, but maybe it's just crazy. Maybe we were all just created here a long time ago. But I wonder why so many ancient cultures around the world have a great flood mythology. Could it just be that people experience floods?
Yes.
They live near water sources, so everybody experiences a flood and they write a story about a flood that came and destroyed their city? Maybe. Unfortunately, I think that's the likely scenario. And we're not going to know.
All right, guys.
Yes.
I have an important question to ask you. Okay. Are we from Venus?
Now, when I was like a kid, I was really into the planets, and I actually did have a theory like that because I was like, oh, what if Venus had like climate change, and that's why there's so many greenhouse gases there? And what if the same thing's going to happen to Earth?
Yeah. It could.
I just don't think we're from Venus.
Yeah, but I actually did speculate, what if there was like human civilization on Venus, but then they screwed it up because of climate change. I didn't really suspect that we came from Venus. I just thought Venus might have had a civilization that got screwed up due to climate change and we're next.
Than, where are we from?
Uranus.
All right. native.
Don't Google
You
that.
left me with no choice, Stan. You did
no.
it. So. There you go. There's your new tagline. You asked
native
for
to
it.
Uranus. Oh, that's totally fine.
Yep. You walked into it. So
yep.
Everyone is from Venus except Than. He is from Uranus.
I'll get you with a DN joke one day, Mike.
You can't, because you can't edit taglines like I can, because I'm in control here.
Oh, well, one of these days. I'll get the CIA.
Oh yeah,
that's true. So that's the Ark theory. And guys, for once again, all goes back to that nut job Ron Wyatt, who claims he found the Ark in Mount Ararat. He also claims he found Sodom and Gomorrah. He claims he found chariot wheels under the Red Sea, and he claims he found the Ark of the Covenant in Jerusalem with Jesus' blood on it. But God told him to close up the entrance and not let anyone back in, because only Ron could see it, because he was special.
Just like Joseph Smith.
And my favorite part is he actually took the blood, went and got a DNA sample, and it was apparently the blood only had 24 chromosomes, because 23 from his mother and 1 from the Holy Spirit, apparently. And he put the results in there and left. And it's like, these doctors have never come forward. What is going on? Like, this is a crazy theory.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Joseph Smith level stuff for sure. Yeah. Like, source, it was revealed to me on invisible tablets.
I know. And like,
trust me, bro.
Yeah.
There was flooding in the region. Like there was this paper I found, Holocene extreme flooding events in the region of Oman, for example. There was another paper I cited a while ago. Where is it? About deluge in the Holocene era, which could maybe be the flood that, Noah's flood. We don't know for sure, but I mean, like, this kind of idea. So,
and it's like, how do you expect to find a boat from 20,000 years ago? Seriously, it's like, if it was made out of wood, that stuff decays. And
not if it's gopher wood.
Oh, you didn't think about the gopher wood. Yes.
Gopher wood is very strong. I'll have you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My theory is like when the Ark landed, they would have taken the Ark apart for building materials. Like, you're going to build houses. You're going to move to lower elevation. You're going to move the wood. I mean, that would make the most sense, I'd think.
Since cockroaches survive forever, if they dig up the Ark, the cockroaches from the Ark are probably still in there. You can ask them. You can interview them. They were there.
That's
you could
true.
Use the CIA telepathy experiment to interview the roaches.
Again,
with enough drugs, they could probably talk to cockroaches.
Where are our tax dollars going to? I do not know. Okay. Tim Cass ain't ever going to have you back.
We're not making fun of him.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll never make fun of Tim. No, we're not making fun of Tim, sir. Roken. We are just talking about the weirdness of the whole theory. And he had a good video on it, so I figured we'll just, use his. I'm going to take this off now. There we go. Okay. I so badly want to keep believing in Jesus. No Christian love today. A putrid lack of doctrinal unity. I shoot the middle finger to God for my doubts. Well, sorry to hear that. For one, don't judge Jesus based on how bad Christians are when the Bible says we're all sinners. We're going to keep messing up and making Jesus look bad. We became Christians because of who Jesus is and what he did, not what Christians do.
Yeah.
You're a little blurry, Richard.
Oh, yeah. My camera does it all the time.
You need like real technology here. Like, what is going on?
My channel,
how
my channel peaked like 2 years ago, so it feels like kind of a waste of time to get an upgrade now.
I think we need an upgrade here. This is ridiculous. So
that's all right.
Says nonsense. I'm not crazy. Trust me, bro. Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. IP, do people at your church know you're a YouTuber? And if so, do you swear them to secrecy to not reveal your denomination? Absolutely. Yes. And they're all in on it. They're all in on the conspiracy. Yeah, they're a YouTuber, but like it rarely comes up in conversation. Like it's just like if I go out of town, they're like, how was the conference? I'm like, it was good. Oh, great. Did you hear Margaret got,
Yeah.
Like, oh, I did not. Like normal conversation.
Ever since I came on to like the IP team, it's come up a few times, but then it kind of tapered off pretty quickly in my experience too. Most people just don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's a normal thing, you know. I go every Friday and Sunday, so you know, so that's about it. Redeem Zoomer, are you getting a low taper fade?
Oh, not this again. That's what people have been asking me for several months. No, unless you pay me a lot of money to do it, because I am corrupt.
Okay, I need to look what this is up because everyone keeps people brought this
really
up to me.
Know what a low taper fade is, Mike?
Man, so that is it.
Yeah.
That okay. You have to excuse my millennial.
Richard, would you get a high and tight?
No.
Dang.
Okay. No high and tight.
That's my standard hairstyle.
IP, in your video about Matthew, you said that he gets the correct that the Kondratus is the smallest coin, but the smallest was actually the lepton, which Luke uses that instead, or am I misunderstanding? Yeah, I was talking about it being the least value. I may have said smallest thinking that, but it was describing it in terms of it being the least of value, which is like the penny. And the way Jesus uses it, it's like the least valuable coin kind of thing in the parable, or in the saying, I believe it is. So yeah, it's not the smallest. It's in terms of size, it's the smallest in terms of value.
Yeah.
It's worse than that, Redeem Zoomer. We're taught that Noah saved the dinosaurs only for them to die not long after. So why did he even save them? Yeah, that is so young Earth creationist belief.
Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from?
Well, they'll say things like, you know, like Noah brought baby dinosaurs on the ark, and then they got off after, and they were dragons, and then people killed them in dragon legends. But I mean, like they would have had to have lasted until the Middle Ages because there's dragon legends in the Middle Ages.
Yes. I mean, well, if you read like Clement of Rome and some of the church fathers, like he's like talking about totally normal stuff and then randomly drops the bomb saying, oh yeah, the phoenix is a really cool bird that you can find in India. So I don't know, maybe there were phoenixes back then. Maybe there still are phoenixes in India.
And griffins, I think it's Herodotus and Philostratus talk about griffins in like the region of Asia, for example. Do we believe in griffins now? I mean, yeah. Do you believe theologians and apologists make logic into their idol by limiting God to logical consistency? Why can't God create a rock if he can't lift it and then lift it? God is above logic included.
It depends on which theologians you're talking about, because some theologians like Karl Barth would say that God is above logic, and some like Thomas Aquinas would not. So you're saying theologians. It depends on which theologians you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my response is like logic in a metaphysical sense is not like a realm we could escape from. Logic is just literally, logic is everything that is and everything that is possible. So if you're outside of logic, you don't exist. It's nothing. God is obviously exists, so he can be just he was within the realm, so to speak, of logic. But logic is not a boundary you could escape from.
Right. What I like to say is that even if like I am somewhat uncomfortable with the idea that God is bound by logic, but we are. So even if we could say God is not bound by logic, we cannot inquire into a universe with different laws of logic than ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. IP is 100% Anglican. He told me, guys. Apparently, I told him. I've been getting that guess a lot lately. Very interesting guess, but cannot confirm if it's accurate or not. Had someone tell me I get too much of my theology from you, Michael, but you make such good defensible arguments. Well, good. I'm glad. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Who is this person that's complaining about this?
Someone who's jealous. Jealous. It's Redeem Zoomer. He's
someone
upset.
who hates Anglicans.
Listen, if you think I'm Anglican, come to Tucson, go to all the Anglican churches. Maybe you'll find me. Maybe you won't, but you'll know for sure. So if I'm Anglican or not, who knows? One time I asked a young Earth creationist why certain structures appear much older than 6,000 years, and he replied that it's God's way of testing our faith. Yek is cope.
That's there should be like a tier list of, or like maybe one of those clown memes of how crazy they go. There's like the God testing our faith, and there's the God made it look old, and then the biggest tier is, oh, Satan put the dinosaur bones there. That's like the expert level young Earth creationism.
Oh yeah, that is. Oh boy.
Wait, he didn't.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, let me go to the next one here. Why does RZ think Molinism is cringe? Yeah, why do you think Molinism is cringe?
Well, because Pope Calvin said so. I don't think Calvin ever talked about Molinism. Molinism is part of the Jesuit movement, and the Jesuits have always been cringed. It was a reaction against Calvinism, and then once they were founded, they accused all the Thomists of being Calvinists for teaching because most people don't know this. The Catholic Church, for most of its history, taught the same type of predestination that Calvin did, and there are still schools within Catholicism that teach that. Like most Roman Catholics are like Arminians. They say they're Molinists, they're really Arminians. Many Roman Catholic theologians today still believe in the same type of predestination that Calvinists believe in. And in the Middle Ages, that was sort of the universal view.
I would contest you on that, but I don't have time. So I'll move on.
I'm just vibing out.
By the way, Redeemed Zoomer doesn't listen to the Ortho Bros. You cooked, JB.
It says don't listen to the. So I debated this guy Jim Bob on evolution. The entire debate, like I had a big long opening statement, and he just spent an hour asking, like, so could God incarnate as a donkey? Could he? And that was all he said. So, and asking about weird hypotheticals doesn't mean you won the debate, but because he's part of the Orthobro tribe, they always flood the comment sections. They're like, bro, RZ got destroyed. It's like, yes, God can do anything, but we're not talking about weird hypotheticals. We're trying to find out what actually happened. He's also like, oh, do you think that humans could evolve into monkeys? It's like, I don't think they're going to. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen, but I don't know. In your system, like, all of humanity could be wiped out by an asteroid, right? But he'd probably say, well, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think we're going to evolve into monkeys.
Dragons are real. Haven't you seen the famous historical documentary, How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah, that was the guy debated on. It was Toby Sumpter, I think. I think he was referring to that, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. I was more annoyed at the helmets because they had horns on them, and Vikings didn't have helmet horns, and I was like, oh, this is so unrealistic.
Well, How to Train Your Dragon is like, they're like Scottish Vikings.
Yeah, another thing.
Don't get me started. They used to exist, but they were killed by the flood. Scottish Vikings used to exist.
Hey, the flood got them. I see. You see, Ron Wyatt was right. Yes, he was. Absolutely. Best resources to deal with young Earth creationist claims. Redeemed Zoomer. Go to him. I hear he's got some stuff on that.
Yeah. I have several videos on evolution. Posted one recently. Lots of people get mad, so I make more of them.
No. At the Creation Museum, I learned that dinosaurs not only survived the flood, but that they still few left in the Congo, like Mokele Mbembe. Yeah, I've heard of that too. And it's like people claim they seem like they think they saw a Brachiosaurus in the Congo.
Like recently?
Well, they claim the locals believe it, and it's Mokele Mbembe or something like that. And it's like maybe, but I mean, like, it's like one of those Bigfoot things. Like, why is it we only hear tales and we don't ever see any photos of this? You know. So yeah, we've heard that too. I think it's probably just snakes. People see like snakes in the water and they go, "Oh, it looks like a Brachiosaurus head sticking out of the water." You know.
Yeah.
So, people are so diverse with younger creationism. I don't know. Just be Christian. Yeah, exactly, Matt. Well said. Thoughts on Michael Heisner's Unseen Realm?
Mukul.
Unseen Realm.
Heisner.
Yeah. A great book.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
You've never read The Unseen Realm?
It's unseen. I've never seen it.
Oh.
I should get a sound effect for that. I should. Man, that did perfect.
I still want Matt to send me a soundboard.
Yeah, I need like a list of sound effects I can add in here because you can do sounds in
really
in StreamYard. Yeah, you play sounds like this.
Oh. I'm gonna mess with that. And get a soundboard of sorts going.
This song is called Feeding the Ducks.
This sounds like the kind of music I listen to when I'm writing my scripts.
This sounds like the music that plays when a live stream is about to start.
Yeah, it probably is. Probably people just recycle it, yeah. And we have obvious rock music, yeah. So, sorry, I won't bore you with those. Anyway, back to your super chats. Read The Unseen Realm. It's a great book. Good to see RZ collab with the world's biggest MC hater. Minecraft hater. Yeah, I got it. It took me a second because I'm old, but I got it. Okay. I gave up young Earth creationists for Lent. Should I do it after again? Absolutely. Should always return back to the young Earth creationism. You can never quit it. It's going to stay around forever. Hey, Pete, you have completely humiliated the stigma I was raised towards with old Earth creationism. Been watching you for about 6 months now. You've really helped my faith. God bless you. Well, we really appreciate hearing those. Thank you so much. Yes.
I mean, I know people say that debate doesn't matter, but honestly, a lot of people tell me that they lost their faith because they found scientific proof of evolution. So I don't think it's an issue of orthodoxy versus heresy, but I do think it's very important to tell people evolution does not contradict the scriptures.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's why we get heated about this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So one of the reasons we mainly deal with it here. Yeah. Unlike other issues. What's your favorite part of church history? Also, hi, Redeem Zoomer. Favorite part of church history? It's a good question.
Was it when your denomination was formed?
Yeah, absolutely. When Jesus died. Yeah. When he rose, actually, at and then Pentecost. That's when my denomination.
Yeah, the PCUSA was formed at Pentecost. Everyone else was that.
Absolutely. Both my parents were Presbyterian, but then when I was like young, they went to a non-denominational church, so they became secret Baptist. But they were raised Presbyterian. Favorite part of church history? Maybe. Oh man, that is difficult. There's so many cool.
It's difficult because you're trying not to out yourself. You're trying not to out yourself by saying your favorite part of church history.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's when the Christians invented the Trinity at the Council of Nicaea.
Oh yes, for sure. Yeah, I think probably just early church history is gonna be my favorite.
Safe option.
Got me. Thank you for the super chat. Skip ad. Yeah, you better not. Don't skip the ad in the middle of our live stream.
Matt will find you.
You're watching live. Matt will find you, and he will make you watch the ad because he makes us watch it. Thank you, Gabe. Do I have to sub to IP Premium for no ads? Yes, you do.
You have to sub to my OnlyFans.
That's true. That AD made me a member. Good, powerful. To that one commenter, don't hate on the Catholic Church. She's the only church who can say that she was founded directly by Jesus. Yeah, and the Orthodox.
The PCUSA was the original church.
Exactly. Yeah. There was a secret PCU line going through these years for so many times.
The Council of Nicaea, that was just a general assembly, and the Pope was just the moderator of presbytery.
Absolutely. Yes. So are you a presbyter?
Me? No. I'm not an elder. Do I look like an elder? I'm not an elder.
No, you don't understand the joke is that one time there was a Muslim named Ali Dawa, and he was on his video. He's like, we don't even know who wrote John. Was it John the Elder? Was it John the son of Zebedee? Was it John the presbyter?
Presbyter.
So you're a presbyter.
Right.
We know it.
I don't watch Islamic apologetics anymore because it's just like, how is 1 + 1 + 1 = 1? It doesn't go deeper than that. So.
No. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 1, guys. Therefore, it's okay to have sex with children. Obviously. I want somebody to make an account called Redeem Zoomer the Presbyter and get over here fast. We need that right now.
Yes.
Okay. You have let's hold on. I'm gonna help you out here because you're gonna make this. So what we're gonna do, okay, there, get your screenshot. Get your screenshot. Good. Very good. All right, good. That should be enough. Now he can go make the super chat saying Redeem Zoomer the Presbyter. Let me back.
Yes. The presbyter.
Yeah. Why does Than, the gay guy, think he's part of the team? Also, the trailer was super gay. Also, I hate Than in the Mormon at the bottom. Brokey, free Diddy.
Man, do you just want to fight?
I'm going to be back.
I am a brokey.
What is a brokey?
But I'm bigger than you.
What is the brokey again? I forget what that is.
My assumption is just that you're somebody that's broke.
Like, look it up again. Freaking Gen Z terms. We have a Gen Z person here who's not explaining the terms.
That's not a Gen Z. I don't recognize a lot of these terms. I don't think this guy's even Gen Z.
Yeah, he's messing with us. He knows what it means. It means you're broke. So
okay.
RZ, I'm willing to bet you're not wearing any pants.
I literally am. Wait.
We want to see the pants.
Jump. but don't hit your head on
show
the ceiling fan.
I'm not gonna hit my head on the ceiling fan, but yes, I have pants.
Dude,
wait.
You should have.
Get
If you would have hit your
get
head.
back up like that so we can get a better screenshot for the John the Presbyter picture.
No, we're
Because
good.
like
We're good.
the light behind your head and everything.
Reeb Doom Zoomer, I have watched a ton of your content. Thank you for what you are doing for God's kingdom. It's impressive. Also, your MC Church is amazing, IP. Glad you gave up the liquor for Lent. Thank you. What is the Minecraft Church? Oh
Yeah, my Minecraft Presbyterian Church. My
see.
Minecraft Presbyterian Church was actually the original church.
Did
Everything
you
else
build
was wrong.
a church in Minecraft?
That's what everyone does on my server. There's like 1,000 of them.
Jesus is the OG Minecrafter.
Actually curious, why is Behemoth not a dinosaur? Well, because it's a the way Dwayne Garrett explains it is it's like a cosmic animal, like the animals, the beasts in the book of Daniel. Like it's not meant to be any animal per se. It's like a cosmic animal meant to present the economy or like terrestrial land. And it's not described as a dinosaur. Everyone goes to its tail being like cedar, but Than will explain what that is, right, Than?
Yeah, it is talking about its phallus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it, because it also talks about being with stones.
It's
Stones are
PP.
the PP and the testy, So yeah, that's what's going on. It's not.
So when
We'll do a
you-
video on it specifically.
So
That and
young Earth
Leviathan.
creationists, if you are having children sing the song "Behemoth was a dinosaur," that song, when they hit that line, you're making them sing about adult male appendages. So stop
Powerful.
singing that song.
Powerful stuff. Nerds. Thank you, Adrian. We appreciate it. Love your videos, IP. Keep up the good work. Minecraft collab with low taper fade appointments when? Okay, listen.
Yes.
If Redeem Zoomer gets a low taper fade, I will play Minecraft with him.
Really? Now that is motivation.
There's my promise.
Yeah. I'm holding you to that. When I show up with a low taper fade, you gotta join my server and then pick a denomination. It has to be accurate, and then you'll have to spill the secret.
I can't even. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, Richard, we are putting together a Discord server as well, and I will be playing Minecraft with our audience. So
Let's go.
if you want to join in with us,
Ruining the serious ministry of inspiring philosophy with your Minecraft server. I worked hard to build it.
we are still doing really good work, but we're also having fun at the same time.
Than the Geek says, "I'm so geeky, guys." Also, y'all like my doggy shirt?
I still have that sweatshirt.
I see.
It's a I think I do at least. It's a picture of a pug and it says Pug
Mhm.
Life on it.
Pug life. You don't have a pug.
No, but
What's-
I always wanted
Okay,
one.
Ice Station Zebra.
What is
Interesting.
that? But it crashed spy cell in the 70s. Okay.
Sounds like
Interesting.
an interesting conspiracy theory. I don't know.
Can't tell if he's joking or not. Who, Tim Pool? No, he was just reporting on it. He was not taking it that serious. I'm pretty sure. AP, loved meeting you in Sarasota a month ago. You too, Josh. You're the best. Any of you guys ever play the Final Fantasy games? I just finished 6 for the first time, and it's gone insane. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Played all 4 of those.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
them.
7 is obviously the best. Always will be. Actually, I thought 9 was pretty good. I think it didn't get as good reviews, but I thought 9 was a pretty good game. I think it got a lot of criticism, and I don't think it deserved. I actually liked it more than 8. Wrong. Only women are from Venus. Men are from Mars, you see? Yes.
I'm your Venus. It all lines up.
You know what? You know what? They're going to clip that. It's over. Clip you saying,
It's
I'm
okay.
your Venus.
Dude, I have no shame. It's fine.
It's over. You ruined everything. Did you consider interviewing Cain and the Apostles and the Apostle John about this? I have no
the
idea who
Apostle
that
John
is.
the Apostle John's still alive, like the Book of Mormon told me so.
Oh, I see. I thought they were like YouTuber names, like someone's Cain and the Apostle John. Like some
I mean,
weird
maybe,
podcast.
I don't know.
It sound like wrestling names. Like, here comes Cain and the Apostle John.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to share the gospel to my grandma who's in bad condition. My mom says I will make a grandpa, sorry, who's in bad condition. My mom says I will make him have a heart attack from stress. Need advice and prayer.
Well, we will be praying for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, just have a conversation. It doesn't need to be like you just preaching to him. Talk to him. Ask him,
This is not the Second Great Awakening. Sharing the gospel doesn't have to be like a fire and brimstone thing. It doesn't have to be stressful.
Yeah, just
like
talk.
For someone to believe in Jesus, they don't need to have some like emotional conversion experience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you guys have any videos on prayer? If you don't, do you have any good resources on it? I'm currently wrestling with it right now. I do. Look up a video on my channel called Ancient Relationships, Cultural Context of the Biblical World. And I talk about prayer in that video. Is Venus to Earth because climate change EPA propaganda? It is. It is definitely climate change propaganda.
Riveting.
Sure. People tried to survive the flood by going underground. Genesis 7:21, only the face of the earth. Revelation 6:15-16, people hid in the dens of the rocks. Yet this challenges everyone's views. I hope you're not being serious.
How would you survive a flood by going underground?
Well, you close the
But
lid.
also, in the ancient Near Eastern cosmology, it's like you're going to go underground to the deep eventually.
Oh, right, yeah.
You're going to escape the top flood.
You have to have biblical cosmology. You have to have biblical cosmology, bro.
And why would they go underground? That's where the lizard people live. They're going to just get eaten by them. I wouldn't do that.
That's true.
That's where the grave is. That's where the...
Goat Hub, the #1 site in Pakistan, says, Michael belongs to Christian Science Church. Yeah, I do. That's why I never go to the doctor. Never.
Yes.
Not because I'm poor. It's because I'm Christian Scientist. What do you think about gap theory over young Earth creationism? So that's the idea. There's a gap in between Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Gap of millions of years. The earth was formless and void. Yeah.
That's like trying to like have your cake and eat it too. That's like trying to be a strict literalist and also squeeze science into there somewhere.
And I don't think you need that theory if you just take a good reading of Genesis 1:1.
Yeah.
Which is just going to be the Hebrew syntax view, which you can find on like the Jewish publications.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. What's the point of dunking on young Earth creationism? IP is friendly to non-Christians, for example, Jews, than he is to young Earth creationists. This is not a salvation issue. We talked about this earlier, and we all agreed, like, no, this is a big issue that pulls people away from Christianity. We've talked to a ton of atheists, Redeem Zoomer, Than, myself. All of these guys are like, I was a Christian, then I found out the earth wasn't 6,000 years old, and I threw the baby out with the bathwater, and I became an atheist.
We're also supposed to hold our own people to higher standards.
Yes.
Yeah. So because it actually is related to salvation issues, people walking away from Christianity, that's why we deal with it. That's why, people were walking away because of these crazy Presbyterian Calvinists. I'd go after them like crazy, for sure.
Yes.
Finished John Walton's Genesis 2:3 book today. Reading it made me realize the young Earth creationists are really missing the forest for the trees on Genesis 1:3. Yeah, for sure. John Walton's a great scholar. Yeah. IP is an undercover LDS. Yes, I am. And my name is already in the Mormon Book of Life, I'm pretty sure, because I got extended Mormon family that like said, don't worry. We put you all in there, so you'll get baptized.
If I have like a great grandkid who becomes Mormon, he better not try to like baptize me after I'm dead, because they might do that.
Imagine you're up in heaven and all of a sudden you like poof in purgatory. What happened? Well, you got baptized into a new church, so you're stuck here now. Son of stupid children.
Wait, Inspiring Philosophy just referenced purgatory. Inspiring Philosophy Catholic confirmed.
Got him. Yes. No, I talked to Mormons in San Diego, and I said like my Mormon extended family did something like they got baptized, and they said, well, they can't do that because you're not dead yet. I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was like they wrote our name in a book of life or something. I don't know. It was, but Mormons are right. I'm good. And then I'm gonna have a lot of questions like, what's up with the Book of Abraham? Redeem Zoomer calling himself an iconoclast. Might as well introduce yourself as a heretic, praying for your conversion to Eastern Orthodoxy.
Yes, you see this? That's my iconoclast prayer corner over there. Very decorated.
I love it. I'm gonna invade your house, and then right before you stream, I'll put one in the corner. Like you won't know what to do.
I think all the Orthobros want to do that. Oh, you gave up fasting for Lent? Okay.
No. Ex-fireman with 70s porn stash gave up fasting for Lent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Than, why did you give up fasting for Lent?
I'm not an ex-fireman with a 70s porn stash.
I'm
an ex-fireman with a stash. but not a porn stash.
Don't lie to us. We know what that is on your face. We've all seen it.
My wife yelled. It can be a lot worse. It's just my wife yells at me if I don't trim it up to make it look nice.
Yeah, it looks better now. Your beard is growing in, but when you shave the beard and you just have the mustache, you know,
it's the whole point.
Crazy. Thank you, me1204, for the very, very generous super chat. They says hire Than. Well, that is the goal. We are working towards that. Please consider donating. If you go to inspiringphilosophy.com/give, that will help us immensely, because what we mostly need is more monthly donors for Than to be full-time. I think he's like part-time right now. We're getting closer, but thank you for the very, very generous super chat for sure. That will help. I'll make sure he gets that. But you guys go to the link below, inspiringphilosophy.com/give, and you can donate there, and voila. Sure enough, you will help Than go full-time, and then he'll be doing a lot more work. So I'll put him to good use.
Heck yeah, brother.
Patrick killed all the Scottish Vikings in Ireland. He did.
Yeah.
That's where I had to one time do a video on St. Patrick's Day because some guy was claiming that St. Patrick's committed genocide against Gnostic Egyptians living in Ireland.
No, there's this. People speculate on what the ancient Celtic Christians were. I mean, they were Presbyterian, but
for sure.
No, I'm not even joking. I actually unironically believe that the ancient Celtic Christians were Presbyterian. Do I have evidence? No, but it sounds cool.
Fair enough.
I like how you say something so serious and with a straight face, and then obviously the punchline comes after. It's pretty awesome. You should debate Joel Reed's Bible on whether the Torah makes God evil.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's just a TikToker.
Thoughts on Ruslan's L take on gooning? What? Why are they bringing up gooning again, Than? We got in trouble because we misunderstood what it meant last time.
I'm still not really clear on what this word means.
I decided to stop looking it up.
Then I advise you move on to the next question.
Let's do that. I have no idea.
I want to know what Ruslan said about gooning.
We'll talk about it after the show.
I'll text him. Why did I get a super chat on gooning about you? We actually all know that IP is non-denominational, but he's just been hiding it. So Redeem Zoomer wouldn't make fun of him if he comes on the show. I'm terrified of being made fun of by Redeem Zoomer. Absolutely.
There's no coming back from me being disappointed in you.
Are Behemoth and Leviathan demonic or just forces of nature? Concerned to know my favorite Pokemon, Groudon, might be based on a demon. No,
General rule: if your Baptist grandmother told you something is demonic, it's probably not.
One, Groudon is the Earth Pokemon. I think you're talking about Kyogre, who is the Water legendary Pokemon.
Hey guys, it's obviously Kyogre over here. I know all the Pokemon and the cards it's made up in my room.
Guys, Christmas, Easter, Harry Potter, Dungeons and Dragons, and Pokemon, a bunch of things that are not demonic no matter what the Baptists say.
Except Yu-Gi-Oh! Very demonic.
What is happening?
I have a core memory growing up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With some friends. Like, we were trading our cards and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and his mom got mad at us because we were playing with demonic cards. I don't think that I don't think Behemoth and Leviathan are demons. Leviathan is just like an ancient Near Eastern symbol for chaos. And
chaos. Yeah. Bed Wars with Alex O'Connor when? Well, I'm not going to sleep with him, so never. Anyway,
That's not what Bed Wars is. Bed Wars is Minecraft.
It's a Minecraft thing.
See, this is why we're not bringing any more Zoomers on this. Because
I will be filming something fun with Alex when I'm in Europe next month.
Gross.
It has nothing to do with beds.
Better not, or you're fired. Behemoth description written in prose, not poetic.
I think that's supposed to mean it's like a dinosaur or something.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
On my old channel, Exploring Reality, go look at my video, Dinosaurs in the Bible or something like that. I cover that a lot in there.
Excellent. Thoughts on Mystical City of God by Maria de Agrenda? I don't know what that is. Is it a book? Is it a song? No, don't know. Don't even know who that person is.
It sounds like a Catholic thing, especially given the Catholic look of that guy's profile pic.
Yeah. Question, Redeem Zoomer. If I have memorized the Nicene Creed, does that mean I'm Catholic or Orthodox or Protestant?
Depends on which Nicene Creed. Filioque or no filioque. Yeah. No, I should just ask you to recite the Nicene Creed out of context, and depending on whether or not you have filioque, will give us a clue. Help us narrow it down.
I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and all things visible and invisible, and one Lord Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God. So
you didn't finish it.
I did. I just sped it up towards the end. You just didn't hear it.
Okay.
You have to have biblical cosmology, bro.
Hey,
bro.
Redeem Zoomer, the presbyter, is here.
Redeem Zoomer, but you didn't spell presbyter right. It's press and then bitter. It's presbyter. It's two S's.
Biter is one T. It would be bitter if it's two T.
Right. So it's Redeem Zoomer, the presbyter. You need PRESS, then biter as a separate word. That's the way it works. Come on. We are professionals here. Act like it, Redeem Zoomer, the presbyter. But thank you for making that. It's amazing. I love how fast it was too.
I know.
I love the audience. We can just audience.
It only seems fast if you're a millennial. It does not take us that long to do this in Gen Z. You guys are slow.
I see. I just love the audience. We're like, audience, make this go. And then someone does, and boom, there it is.
My audience is faster. My audience are Zoomers, and they zoom around and they do things fast.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, someone just texted me calling me playa, and it distracted me. I was like, Anyway, opinion on John Lennox. John Lennox is great. Based apologist. Yes.
Please tell me you know what based means, right?
Oh, yes. Of course, I know what based means. It's what you put under the house. It's the foundation, right? Is there a new John Walton book coming out?
Yeah. Subscribe to Inspiring Philosophy's MySpace and all that.
New explorations in the lost world of Generis. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. Is adding a new book?
More about some origin stuff too.
Oh, that looks interesting. Yeah. I'll have IP baptized by proxy after he passes. Thank you, Kyle. When the Mormons turn out to be right, I'm in. I'll get my own planet. I have all my celestial wives. My current wife may not be happy about that, but she'll figure it out. She'll be fine after a couple thousand years of it happening, you know. I kid. Please don't get mad, Mormons. All right, you get mad. I don't care. Ex-Unitarian here. Praise God. Simple but most convincing Trinitarian argument for me coming to the deity of Christ was Isaiah. John, prepare the way for Yahweh. I think it often casually overlooked in Trinitarians. Yeah, that's in the opening chapter of Mark. Is that Mark has someone preparing the way for Yahweh, and it's John the Baptist. And who does he prepare the way for? Jesus.
Yeah, and there's also like in Zechariah it says God will send God to live among his people, and it's the word is the divine name in both cases.
Yeah, I like the Lord argument. I think the only where both Matthew and Luke say Jesus calls himself Lord, and there's no Greek text where anyone is called Lord except Yahweh in the Old Testament, like books of Ezekiel, and Jesus. And the only reply you'll get from people is that, well, it's just for emotional emphasis, which doesn't make sense in the context of Luke. Yeah. It could be in Matthew, but Matthew knows the Hebrew Bible so well, it's unlikely he would have made such a simple mistake.
Yeah. Your videos helped me, like when I was in high school and I first encountered anti-Trinitarian arguments. Your videos were the first arguments I heard for why the Trinity is biblical.
Awesome.
Nice.
Appreciate that. That means a lot. Why do you reject the literary framework model? I've always found it the most plausible. It can still hold to historical fallen Adam. I don't reject it. I just incorporate it into a larger picture about Genesis. I think the days have a framework going, but I don't think that's the only aspect that can explain it.
Yeah, I'm sort of like a hybrid, a literary framework, day-age type person.
That's good. Will RZ buy icons of saints, specifically St. Paul?
No, I only venerate icons of St. John Calvin and Karl Barth.
You should do that. You should get a merch shop. You should make icons in like Eastern Orthodox artistic fashion of Calvin and like Martin Luther and then like John Wesley. Just do a bunch of Presbyterians, you know.
Yes.
See, we now found a thing for you to do. You're welcome. That'll be $85.
Yeah, you'll get a bit of a cut from the killing I make off of Calvinist icons.
Can you advise RZ to get better live setup? We've been trying, and he's like, no, I want the fan right above my head looking like I got a top hat or spinny hat.
Like, you guys want me to have icons in my room? This is an icon.
He can't have icons in his room because he wouldn't be able to make that pun anymore, and that's important. Did you like the Minecraft movie?
I haven't seen it. No spoilers.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't spoil it.
I haven't
for
watched
you,
it either, but I've heard it's kind of bad.
I heard it was kind of good.
People say it was actually surprisingly good, given that most things that get produced these days are not good.
Yeah, I heard the same. Yeah. How long ago was it that the snake crawled on all four legs? According to the Bible, it happened thousands of years ago. Evolution proponents say it was millions of years ago, and death was always around.
That's because it was millions of years ago, and death was always around. Next question.
Yeah, and we don't say that this. I see my video on Genesis 3a, part of the Genesis 1 to 11 series, came out about 5 years ago. But I talk about the serpent in Genesis 3, the 2 videos on Genesis 3. So see that, and no, I don't think that's what's happening. I don't think the snake comes in the tree crawling on 4 legs. I don't understand why some Christians have a problem with purgatory. It's not like if someone died with a porn addiction and then they're in heaven with it. Yeah, that's Jerry Walls, who's a Protestant.
Science philosophy, why do people have so many problems with purgatory, right?
Seriously. I don't know.
Yeah, well, why do you believe in purgatory?
Well, I think it's so Jerry Walls.
Gotcha.
Jerry Walls, who's a evangelical scholar, makes the case that it's like an intermediate stage where you're with Jesus, but like you're still being purged of your sin and going through sanctification. So it's not like you're in a place apart from heaven. It's like you're with God, but you still need to be sanctified. Is kind of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, Follower of the Shepherd, for the $1 super sticker. Than says something nerdy. IP immediately turns it into South Park. Also, Alex on the OnlyFans sounds crazy. Yeah, you and Alex on OnlyFans, go for it.
It'll involve beans and toast.
Okay. Anyway, thoughts on Ortland's stance on that the Eucharist is the fruit of the vine, meaning grape juice fermented or cannot be used for communion. Meaning grape juice fermented or not can be used for communion. Oh, I see what he's saying.
I mean, I support grape juice communion, especially for like recovering alcoholics and stuff. And it's like some people might think it's not proper elements, but in places like Africa, they'll use rice and water for communion because that's like what they have. So I don't know. I'm not that legalistic about it.
I get that. I am a kind of a stickler for it. I do think it needs to be bread and wine. What we do at the church I go to is we do have some small cups off to the side from the communal cup that are water with a drop of wine in it. And we've had recovering alcoholics take that. They feel fine. No issue.
And you've proved that you're not Catholic because the Catholic Church generally does not give people the wine.
Maybe.
Yeah, we proved it.
I noticed I said it was off to the side, though.
Even so.
See, he's trying really hard, guys.
It's never gonna work.
I'm convinced. Well, actually, no. I'm not going to get into it because I'm just going to bring up a bunch of other stuff. I'm convinced the weird super chats are government psyop agents. That's true. They're trying to fund this channel. Thank you, Donald Trump.
No, they're trying to distract us from finding out what the CIA is up to with the mound of dirt that's Noah's Ark in Armenia.
Powerful job. Appreciate it. Y'all know I'm based on a character from Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Am I demonic? You are. Definitely, Roken. Yeah. Any reasons to trust Eusebius' quotation of Papias when it comes to what he says about the gospel authors? Yeah, but he doesn't like Papias. He quotes him because it's relevant for a topic, but he disagrees with Papias' eschatology. So he's willing to cite him even though he doesn't like him. So that's probably a reliable source.
He literally, correct me if I'm wrong, but he literally calls Papias a dummy in their own terms.
He's a man of simple learning, you know. Yeah.
Like he's making fun of him, yet he uses him and quotes him in his own rhetoric. So
if humans were at first meant to be immortal, why did God create man with organs? Well, I mean, that's an argument I don't make. I think man was created mortal, and the only reason they had immortality was they had access to the tree of life.
Yeah, Adam was allowed to eat from the tree of life, which grants immortality. What's the purpose of a tree that grants immortality if death doesn't exist yet?
Yes.
Are you from New York?
Yes, I'm from New York.
That makes sense. You're talking with your hands. Your accent's coming out a little bit over there.
Yeah, I'm walking here.
This is why we, at least the annihilationist camp, why we call it conditional immortality.
You're an annihilationist. Oh, you both are, right?
I'm an eventual annihilationist.
You're not allowed to hold that position in the Catholic Church. Inspiring philosophy, not Catholic proved.
Yeah, but I've also been very clear. I don't hold to everything in the church I attend. I've been very clear that you will never guess my beliefs based on
right. But only if you're Protestant are you allowed to not hold to everything in the church you attend.
But I was raised evangelical, so I take a lot of those leanings with me as I changed a couple years ago. So
I'm aware. But what was I going to say? I forgot. Oh yeah, when Capturing Christianity converted to Catholicism, he was disappointed that he had to stop being an annihilationist because that was also his view. Seems to be a popular view among apologists.
Yeah, well, I say I'm an eventual annihilationist, so I still go for hell and all that stuff.
But that's still annihilationism. That's still not historic view. And not that I care. I don't think it's like heresy or anything. I just think it proves you're not Catholic.
Proves not Catholic. Well, there are people convinced I am, so good luck.
Yeah, well, there's people who are dumb, so.
The Mormon kid is so gay. Like, dude, hit the gym. I literally kicked your, let me become a Christian apologist head. I think I don't like you.
Yeah. People think I'm Mormon. They just can't handle the drip.
You should get
the Presbyterian raise.
You should get a name tag that says like Elder Redeem Zoomer on it.
Yes.
How much money would you need to give for a mogging tutorial? Also, brokey is what Andrew Tate calls poor dudes. Okay. Can you explain what mogging is?
I know the word mogging in the context of bodybuilding, when like you have a better angle on somebody and look better than somebody else. But I don't know if that's the right way of understanding it within the Zoomer context. So
Powerful. Tate did not make the word brokey. I did. Than gay. You heard it here, folks. Why is the resurrection not ad hoc like aliens? Oh, do we have an hour to explain why?
Because the prior probability of the resurrection of Jesus, given our background knowledge, is much higher than its competing theories.
Powerful. Yeah, pretty much. You're wearing a bow tie, bro. It's 2025, and you're wearing a bow tie. Catholic, go pray to Mary. Free Diddy.
I think he's saying Catholic gay. Go pray to Mary. Free Diddy. That's what he's saying.
Powerful. Ra. Than the Ra says Ra. What in the?
What?
Flint and Steel.
You gotta play Minecraft, bro. You gotta play Bed Wars with Alex O'Connor.
I'll see if Alex will want to play.
Yeah.
I told you, get the low taper fade, and we'll do it. So.
All right. If it'll make you play Minecraft, I'll get a low taper fade.
I'm Catholic, and my church gives people the wine. See? You see? Redeem Zoomer doesn't understand Catholicism. They give the wine.
Yes, but you didn't correct me on that, which you would have if you were Catholic.
I didn't want to say anything. I said I was like about to get into it, and I was like, I won't, because so luckily TD came and corrected you, so I don't have to accidentally.
We will fight people on denominations when the time comes.
Listen, Than knows my denomination.
I actually know it too. Some people have told me. I'm just not saying it on the live stream.
People told you?
Yeah.
We'll have to silence the moles.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to spill your secret here. That'd be a jerk move of me.
It would be, yes. And I would deny it, so, or I would neither deny nor confirm it. As a Southern Baptist youth minister, I appreciate both channels here. Calvin was wrong. Sorry, Zoom. You're correct on a Baptist grandma thinking everything is demonic. Haven't told her I play Magic the Gathering.
Well, I appreciate you as a Baptist admitting that you're not Calvinist, because there's a lot of Baptists who call themselves Calvinists, despite the fact that, let's just say the Reformers did not like the Baptists very much.
No. Were you talking about the Anabaptists?
They gave the Baptists quite a few forced full immersion baptisms.
Are you talking about the Anabaptists or the Baptists?
Both, honestly. Like the English Baptists were persecuted by the Puritan Congregationalists in New England. Not that I approve of that behavior, but it shows that Baptists are not reformed. They're not truly reformed.
last year I got invited to like this ecumenical Bible study. We were not going through the Bible. What we were going through was the Augsburg Confession and the confutation of it. So like the Catholic response to it. That's why I had to get this book here, this one. And everyone keeps going, oh, that proves his denomination. And I'm like, well, I had to get it for this Bible study. We were doing both. So, and like, I just love how when you go through the confession, the Augsburg Confession, and then the confutation, they're all like, we don't like you. Well, we don't like you either, but we both agree the Anabaptists are awful. Like just randomly, and like both works are like talking about something. And by the way, I just want to remind everyone, we all agree the Anabaptists suck, right? And they're like,
the Lutherans and the Calvinists agreed on not liking Baptists. I know Anabaptists are not exactly the same as Baptists, but it's like 95% similarity. I've gotten more charitable to the Baptists lately. I used to say they were identical. Now I say they're just mostly similar.
Yeah, they're similar. They didn't come out of the Anabaptists. That's like the Quakers, the Mennonites, that kind of group stuff. You know, the Brethren. Bible Project collab soon. I would love to.
That guy's still around.
I think so.
Yeah.
IP also said that his pastor has a lot of kids. Definitely not Catholic. You've been humiliated. If I did,
actually, Inspiring Philosophy is a Byzantine Catholic because those priests do have kids.
That's true. I think I was talking about an elder in there, not an elder, but I don't know. I think I said someone in my church has a lot of kids.
Catholic churches don't have ruling elders either, so there's that.
Yeah, well, I don't remember what I said. I was trying to throw someone off, I think, a while ago, because I will say things like that to throw people off.
But when you're almost caught.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'll start saying things like super orthodox when people are like, "Oh, he's Catholic," and then when people are like, "Oh, he's orthodox,"
and then you just post the diagram of the Trinity without the filioque way.
Yeah. So sorry, answering LDS, you can't trust me because I've been deceiving you. There is someone in my church who's got a lot of kids. He's got like 12 kids though. So, Than, natty or not stream when? What is that?
I'll just answer the question now. I am natty. If I was not natty, I would look very different. It's
RZ, if Zoomer, why no broccoli head?
Well, because I think broccoli hair is stupid, and it's why Gen Z sucks.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's the difference. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's when Gen Z's hair looks. I can't even do it, but you've seen the broccoli hair amongst Gen Z.
Yeah, doesn't Ruslan have broccoli hair?
Like, what?
Doesn't Ruslan have broccoli hair?
Yeah, I hope he doesn't watch this.
He'll laugh. He's cool. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, he is. I've already insulted non-denominationals many times, and he's never gotten mad at me, so he's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty chill. I sacrificed Chick-fil-A for Super Chat. Be Baptist. That's true. It is requirement in like the Baptist Creed. If you go to church, you also have to attend Chick-fil-A once a week. When you hit 1 million, can we get the denomination? Well, get me there, and maybe you will. I don't know.
Yeah, if you get me to 1 million, I will get I've said many times, I will get a better mic and camera if I hit 1 million. But since my channel is just going like that, it's like I don't see why now I should get a better mic if I got that far without one.
I'm an annihilationist too. Thank you. Carlos asked, do you believe that four Marian dogmas of the Assumption, Immaculate Conception, Perpetual Virginity, and Theotokos?
Let's see. No, yes.
What about you? You believe in perpetual virginity?
Yes.
Oh,
and so did most of the reformers, and one of the Calvinist confessions says so.
Yeah, I once said that Mary's the Queen of Heaven, and then people were like, there was like a whole stream about how I was Catholic, and I was like, and then I just waited a couple hours and posted a quote of Martin Luther saying it to like really throw people off. So, yeah, I will not comment on this, Carlos. You'll just have to keep guessing. So yeah, good luck with that.
I love the questions to try to probe.
The probing questions. So we made it. We're about 2 hours in. We're going to close this out. Redeem, Zoomer, anything you want to promote on your channel you got upcoming?
Yeah, I'm going to make a video, every ecumenical council explained in 10 minutes. Yeah, probably just more Minecraft stuff, which I expect to see Inspiring Philosophy on my server once I get that low taper fade.
Oh, yeah. It's going to have the Riz.
Yes.
Like, do you even have anything that can run Minecraft?
If you have a computer, you can run Minecraft.
Will it work on a Mac?
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It will, depending on the Mac specs.
Most things don't work on a Mac.
I like Richard now, more now.
I have a Nintendo
I'm a PC
Switch.
guy.
Like my dad was like a Mac supremacist for many years, and it's like you would try to install something, it just doesn't work. So,
do I have a Nintendo Switch? Will that work?
Yeah.
No, well, not for like my server. Like, there's different types of Minecraft, and
Are you
can't,
running
like,
Java?
Java, yeah. And everyone's like, make the server Bedrock compatible. I'm like, no.
I'll host a Bedrock version on our end.
Oh God, this is all confusing. RZ, are you related to Levi Ackerman?
I think that's an anime
Levi.
character. Now, I don't watch anime because I feel like that's demonic. I don't have any proof. It's just I feel like it is. I banned anime on my Discord server. But no, I'm not related to degenerate anime. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I see the similarity there. It totally looks like you. So we got him. We got Redeem Boomer coming in. Do you guys prefer Quaker Oats or hot cross buns from Redeem Boomer here?
Well, Quakers are heretical, so I'd have to say the buns.
I wish I had a recorder so I could actually play hot crust buns on the recorder now.
Oh man. I love Redeem Boomer. This is the best super chat wins. This is amazing.
I've seen that guy before on my streams.
Oh really? Redeem Boomer?
Yeah, that's my grandpa. That's actually a picture of my grandpa, by the way.
Yeah. It's amazing. All right, so I'll be streaming again Friday with Daryl Bach, and we have a video coming out after that on dating Deuteronomy to be pre-Josiah, so much older than what most people think. So that'll be coming out this week as well. And then Thano and I will be back hopefully next Monday to stream more. So that's what's going on. We'll have Redeem Zoomer back at some point, as long as he wants to, if we didn't scare him away.
Yeah, that was fun. I'll come back soon once I get the low taper fade.
Deal. You got to do the low taper fade because I need to see proof of it.
Yeah.
And then we can do Minecraft. So awesome. All right. We'll close this out. I'll see you guys Friday with Daryl Bach on the channel. So that should be, he said, I think we agreed like 4 or 5 p.m. Central. We'll set it up, but it's going to be like a little bit earlier than this because this is 8 Eastern. It's going to be a little bit earlier. So like, yeah, it should be great. Should be pretty fun. Can't wait to talk about a bunch of stuff. So, all right. Talk to you guys later. You made it to the end of this video, which means this message matters to you. If you want to see more content like this reaching people for Christ, you can help make it happen. Your support makes these videos possible. Click the link below and donate today. And if you want to go even deeper, consider joining our Patreon community. You'll get early access to videos, behind-the-scenes content, and a place to connect with others passionate about this mission.